back for another Not Too Shabby Shop Design Team project. Today's card features the stamp of the month for October. Happy Halloween to all of you. I am squeezing this in at the last minute. This is Marla with Mad About Cards and Crafts. We are going to use some of the smaller stamps in the set to create a Christmas card. If you've seen this stamp set, it's called An Elegant Christmas. You've seen many of the beautiful cards created using the girl in the gown and the window. It's truly elegant, but I wanted to show the more fun and playful side of this stamp set. So I am using some of the ornaments and one of the gifts to create a background. This would be great if you used the gifts and colored them in different colors for a birthday card as well. In fact, I think if you change the sentiment of my card, it would be perfect for anybody who had a birthday in December and was a dog lover like myself. I stamp the ornaments in at different angles. I turn some of them upside down, making sure to stamp off the page. I do have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of white cardstock in my MISTI, and I am using Memento Tuxedo black ink. I showed you the colors. You could rewind this and just put it on pause so you could see all the colors that I'm using for this background. I'm going to do some very quick Copic coloring. So while I'm doing the coloring, I did want to talk a little bit about the stamp die of the month. So the stamp and die of the month is available on the 1st of the month. There'll be a new one available tomorrow, as well as the new box of the month, and also if you are interested in the paper pad collection. So all 3 are released on the 1st of the month. All 3 are available on a subscription basis. If you choose to subscribe to any of these, there is a discount that applies if you're getting it on a reoccurring basis. Otherwise, they are typically available, some for a shorter time than others, on the website. Once they're gone, they're gone. So once the products sell out, they do not return. This particular stamp set, I think, is perfect for birthday cards, wedding cards, bridal shower cards, and then of course December or holiday birthday cards, which is making it a very versatile set. I know that it's hard to come up sometimes with bridal shower cards, and I think if you have people in your life that are going to be getting married soon, this would be a great stamp set to have. There is going to be a hop tomorrow. I want to say December because I'm doing Christmas cards, November 1st, and that is when we will be revealing both the stamp and die of the month and the box of the month. So this quarter, for October, November, and December, we are combining both the box of the month and the stamp and die of the month on both the 1st and the 7th, bringing you a lot of inspiration for both of these products that are available in the Not Too Shabby shop. So you can see I did go with some blue violets for some of those bulbs and presents. I also have added some hot pink, and I'm adding a little bit of red. Now as I'm adding this red, it's going to be very subtle against the other colors that are on this card, which are a little bit more dominant. So when I color my Charlie dog, which is right here, this is another stamp that's available in the Not Too Shabby shop. I did go very prominent with that red, and I'm going to do the same with the ribbon that I add, just to make sure that that color pops and you can really see how it incorporates into the card. For the dog tag, I did add Nuvo's equivalent of glossy accents, which is called Morning Dew. And then for the little pom-pom, I added some diamond stickles. The stamp set does come with these stars, and so I'm using my picked raspberry, which I thought went very well with the ornaments, and I'm filling in that white space. Now I am going to cut a couple of rectangles right here. I cut them off camera, and I did use a penny black die. It's called, I believe, Elegance Stitch. I cut one from a raspberry colored cardstock, and then I cut a second one from the vellum to tone it down behind the dog because it was just a little bit too bright behind the dog. I'm not going to add any foam tape to the back of this. Everything is going to be glued paper to paper, and so I wanted to make sure that this Charlie dog really stood out. If you're not familiar with who Charlie is, Jamie is the owner of the Not Too Shabby shop, and this is her dog basically. So Charlie has been with her for a few years now. He is one of the love of her life, and I just think that it's an absolutely adorable image, and I thought that it would make a really cute Christmas card. I did add some glue to the vellum. I made sure that I put it in a spot that was going to be hidden by my stamped and colored image. And then I'm going to add this to my card panel. So I really wasn't concerned about having that white space between some of those ornaments towards the center, since I knew that I was going to be adding this little frame to that area. I needed a bow for my card, so I am going to tie this bow. I do not have my hot glue gun, so I did end up using my wet glue. And then I'll use my reverse tweezers once I get this bow tied and I get the tails trimmed off. I'll use my reverse tweezers to hold it in place. I like to use those long scissors because those seem to be the sharpest scissors that I have. I have the yellow cutter bee scissors, and they're very sharp for fussy cutting, but I don't find that they cut ribbon very well. So I use my Tim Holtz scissors. They are my go-to scissors for ribbon. I'm going to add this to an A2 top folding card panel. When I do my Copic coloring, I do like to do it on a separate card panel rather than on my card base, because as you see, there is some bleeding that occurs when you do your Copic coloring. And if that doesn't bother you, then you can go ahead and do the stamping and the coloring directly on your card base. It certainly would save on paper. You could add some foam tape, maybe cut 1/4 of an inch off of each side, and I could have attached it to a colored card base. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about why I don't color directly on my white card panels, and that's because I just personally don't like the bleeding. I did use a stamp from my stash as well as a die to cut out that little rectangle. The sentiment reads, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." Because I was doing some embossing, I did treat my paper with an anti-static tool. I made sure that I stamped with Versamark ink, which is a clear ink, and then I added picked raspberry, which is a Tim Holtz embossing glaze, over the top of that because it did match perfectly with the coloring and with that raspberry cardstock that I used on my rectangle. Once I get this down, that will complete my card for today. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure that you give this a big thumbs up. And until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.